Welcome in Akasha, and this was not an announced or pre-planned live stream. So, hello, and don't worry, you didn't miss anything. What we're doing now is I'm trying something where we can have a opportunity to go live and give you the spiritual weather report in smaller little chunks. And I'm getting ready to go on my retreats, my Dolphin Mayan magic retreat and my inner empower the inner goddess retreat. And if you want to come, you still can, but people are literally just signing up a few days ago. So this is the last time I'm doing the dolphins. We are doing a whole different inner goddess retreat. The amazing healers are coming together. This incredible woman from the grandmother tradition that is not available to the public. She isn't like a website or anything. And healers and caves and magic. And it's just amazing. So as we're approaching, I've been processing, and you might be processing too. So I am usually at this point, I am in my own silence or my preparation mode as a shaman or shamanic healer. I design the cocoon, I design the process, the retreat, when and where we're doing things. It's a cocoon of healing. I work multidimensionally and with all the spirit guides and the waters and the elementals, as well as the ancestors and the temples. And this is a constant stream of transformative information, communication, messages, and medicine that come through. And I usually go in, I have to be the one that hold the space, not just logistically. However, this to me is my spiritual purpose. And so I hope that you will consider coming to this one or another one. So we're going to Greece in May. We're going to go and take Glastonbury in early October, and possibly have a goddess retreat here at my house this summer for the summer solstice. So I thought we should have a little bit of midsummer's night dream weaving with the mermaids and the energies and everything. So make sure that you check this one out here. There's also, if you go to the shop, it will show you the inner goddess retreat and the couple options. And I believe the sale price is still up there, although it should be coming down. So tomorrow will come down. And there is a couple of options, just because at this last minute, people have asked to be able to combine some dolphins with the inner goddess retreat. So please allow yourself to hear your spirit. And let's go ahead and look at the new moon. So we are right now today in the new moon. And the new moon is, we always feel the energies, the portals, the moons, the equinox that's coming up, the eclipses that are coming up. We feel them beforehand. When you're a sensitive, an empath, or just completely out of control and you can't control your senses, which is something you must learn, is you're going to be feeling these things quite in advance. So I know I am already experiencing my eclipse energies. Eclipses are right turns. I call them right turns. My beautiful astrologer friend calls them, you're leaving one room and going into another. You're never going back to that old room. You're leaving one room and going to another. You're never going back to that room. That's me repeating, you're never going back to that room. So if you think about right now, you're on a path walking towards the equinox, which is the 19th. That's beautiful. It's balanced. We're going to be working with the Hunab Ku, which is the Mayan symbol of the one. And of course, you can see why. It's balanced. We go to the pyramids. We go to sacred ceremony. We're going to be working with a whole bunch of animal spirit guides this time. So what happens on the equinox is powerful leading up to the equinox. And then after that, on the 25th, we have a full moon eclipse. And then we have the April 8th eclipse. This is called eclipse season by many people. And that means you can already feel it now if you're sensitive. So if you use these energies now, if you don't sit around waiting, knowing what will happen to me, or I'm afraid to do anything, it's about new, it's about growth this year. This is the dragon year. This is big energy, and this is magic energy. So if you keep denying your own magic, if you keep denying your own intuition, if you keep saying no to the invitation that spirit is giving you to come on a retreat or whatever else you feel like your soul is calling to you, leaving this job. If you've ended a job recently, right? You've been let go, or your position has been ended, or your contract is over, or whatever. If you are ending a relationship or a phase of a relationship, maybe your children are going to graduate and they're going to move out and go to college or something. So this is part of what's happening. Again, like I said, you don't know what area, unless you look at your chart, you could get an idea of what area you may be most impacted by. However, it makes no sense to try to figure it out or to fear it. You must be in the present moment every single second as much as possible. Become the master of your spiritual self. Master your emotions. Do not let them run wild with you, because the ego and the monkey mind and the logical mind and the need for goals and the craving for consuming is all false illusion that you don't need anymore. And your true soul powers and path are attempting to contact you. I promise you, I've been doing so many of these past life power sessions where we go in and we see one or more past lives, other lives in your soul that not just have a wound or a pain in common. They don't just have the, oh my gosh, now I know why. I spoke up, I had my head chopped off, so now I'm afraid to speak up in public and to my family and to my boss. Okay, this is really common, these kinds of things, all right? This is what I see all the time. This is the kind of thing we're going deep into the mysteries, deep into the magic. I open a time-space portal. As a shamanic journeyer for many decades now, I combine all of my current life wisdom, schools, training with many, many of my past life wisdom, schools, and training to provide a very unique environment. I hold a very unique space. And so I have to hold that for myself, right? I have to respect myself. I have to nurture myself. I have to make sure I take care of myself so that I can then be this for others. You need to do that too. If you go on a retreat or you lead a retreat, if you go to a class or you teach the class, in both circumstances, you need to care for yourself. The new moon is new seeds, new planting, any kind of seed planting, a dirt thing, or thinking about what are the seeds you want to plant. Also remember that we are opening a portal, so many portal, more than a portal. This is a bridge or a cocoon or a timeline. So the eclipse opens a timeline and whoop, you go through and you end up in a new reality, in a new room. That new room you're going to is completely dependent on who you are being right now. Are you obsessed with blaming and fear? Are you afraid of what the world's doing? Are you listening to everyone else's conversations and opinions? It's distraction, and you are highly recommended by your soul to stop. Period. Just stop. No, but what I have, no. Okay? There's no more time. You don't have that luxury. Do you want to be dragged through this? Do you want to struggle? Do you want to keep repeating those patterns because you keep saying, why that person? And I want this, and why this, and who that, and whatever it is, instead of coming into the present moment where everything is, coming into the present moment where the prosperity is and the purpose is and the support is and the doorways are and the magical mentors are and the healing is. And it doesn't mean that you're going to heal and feel perfect and look like, a Greek god every day of your life. That is not, and never was the intention of being here now. So you have to decide to let go of these false beliefs that the ego says, oh, if I just had more of that or less of this, or if this person was in my life, then I would be happy. Well, good luck, because you're going to be chasing that forever. However, you're on the threshold of going into a new room. You're crossing a bridge through the universe. What if you chose now to do this work within? What if you chose now to say, okay, the new moon is planting seeds. What would I really like? Not, oh my God, I've suffered, but oh my gosh, wouldn't it be magical if? We're going to be working with the magical child, the inner child that sees and emits and lives in the magical realms. Why? Well, we do an inner cave womb, cacao, heart opening, amazing experience. And the inner child comes up and the rebirthing happens. We're doing another rebirthing at the end of the last day. So we're starting in the womb of the mother and two private different cenotes. These are underground caves with water, beautiful healing ceremonial spaces that we go with sacred healers. And we're bookending the retreat this way. We are experiencing this rebirthing, and we will rebirth that last day. All right. And everything that weaves in between. So maybe you go on a retreat of your own, or maybe right now you just sit down and you say, it's the new moon. Do I want to plant the same seeds again? Do I want to live in that fear again? Do I want this? Of course you want something different, but are you willing to let yourself have it? Is the real question. So let me share a little bit with you about the energies of the new moon so you can understand. So if you're feeling a lot of these energies like I am, you're using the energy now, use the energy up. What does that mean? If the energy says be creative, start being creative now. If the energy says, oh, well, I'm getting throat and different stuff that I got, well, it's like, okay, congestion. What am I resisting? What am I afraid of? Am I stepping out of my comfort zone? Yay. And what is it triggering? Oh, yay. I get to learn that I've been dragging this shit around, and I thought I was not dragging that anymore because everything else I was expanding into, I was amplifying, or I was used to, or I had already seen that story. So old stuff can be coming up now, depending on what you're doing. I'm doing something with my South Node, and that's the past. This new moon is in Pisces. Pisces is a very intuitive sign. It's also a very fluid sign, and it doesn't have hard boundaries or structure. So if you feel fuzzy brained, if you feel like you're not quite certain, if you feel like you just want to dream or Netflix and chill all day, or you want to create or write or play with the fairies, be in the dream state, okay? There's a lot of energies for this new moon that invite and support you. It's a magical intuitive doorway. It's that magical realm. That's one of the reasons we're doing the retreat now. Pisces is great for dolphin work and water work and nature spirits and water spirits and the mermaids that we work with. And it's perfect for intuitive work and expanding past boundaries and letting go of who you are, and that metamorphosis of having no defined, oh, I'm this or I'm that, or I have to have this or that, surrendering into the moment. Now, there's some really cool stuff going on. It's a super new moon, which is a bit weird because we don't see the new moon. So we go, well, how could it be super? It just means it's very, very close, which means all the energies are more powerful. A new moon is dark. So you might want to sleep, you want to curl up, you might want to go within. You are planting seeds. You might want to heal your little womb. You might want to rub your belly and love yourself. You want to respect and understand that the energies that you think about right now are the seeds that are being planted. If you choose not to think about the seeds you want to plant, and you don't take 5 minutes to bring yourself out of the fear or the frustration or whatever. And believe me, they have been poking the frustration and the fear up in me for weeks now. And I love the process of my life, because even when that is happening, and it's not the pleasant part, it is the part that my soul says, this is the next best thing for you to do. It's on your plate. If it's on your plate, it's in your face, it's in your body, it's in your throat, it's in your voice, it's in your mind. That's what's on your plate. Take that. Don't go, oh, I don't want to deal with this. I want to go do that. And I want to go do that. Okay. You want to go play off by yourself, or do you want to take this moment and this opportunity to step on your soul path, to get back into alignment with what you came here to do, to realize you are in the middle of a massive metamorphosis and transition for the entire planet, the entire universe, the entire multiverse, and for your entire soul. You are the pinnacle life in your soul, and you came here. So you're the one that has to do that. If you don't do it, if you play small, if you keep holding yourself back, if you don't step out of your comfort zone, if you're not willing to say, it doesn't matter what other people think, let them go. Let them play their game. Let them be in fear. Let them be negative. Let them criticize. It doesn't have to be a part of your planet. So to my students and to the mastermind that's going to start in April. So if you want to join the mastermind, please contact Donna. She'll give you a link to make an appointment with me after the 27th of March, because I am done. I'm in my sacred space now. I'm going into retreat. If you're coming on the retreat, I will see you there. In the meantime, I will come back a different person, and we will connect. So if you join this month, you get some benefits, and we're going to give you, among other things, we're going to give you, this is a new gift. It is not in the shop, so you have to contact us, okay? We're going to give you the Master Your Emotions in Any Situation course. It's a mini course. And they told me, the spirit guides and grandmothers told me the other day, this is vital, 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 and vital again for everybody coming into this, because this is working with me other than a private continuous package with me of us working weekly or bi-weekly together for an extended period of time, which is possible. This is a way of working with me weekly in a group with support and community and the depth of wisdom and knowledge I have, whether it's spiritual, business, whatever, okay? Now, in this intuitive magical doorway that we're in, I said, you might feel fuzzy brained, you might have that undefined thing, but the good part is then what is the weather? Why are we looking at the spiritual weather? Well, what is it good for? What do you want to use it for? What is it best for? What's best for dreaming and imagining and visualizing and creating and being in that feminine flow, so do it, okay? There's emotions that may be coming up. A lot of people have been feeling that, especially if you're sensitive. Again, it is the eclipse, but it's some of these other things, right? There's Pluto. Pluto doesn't change for hundreds of years, and it's the god of death and rebirth. And it likes to pull the shit up and say, why are you still carrying this around? And if you're willing to go like, this is what this is. Why am I still carrying this around? Oh, shit, I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, it's not that bad compared to what it was. Therefore, that's why I was able to function without it. And you're the same. Sorry, we're all the same. We all have something new and a new evolution to get to and a new level. And you're not the same as anyone else. So you can't compare yourself to anyone else. I want you to get on your path. If you work with me, it's about you connecting to you and your inner truth and your inner voice so you can be on your path. And I can see you and I can see your path. So I'm a really great guide for that. Now, there's also Neptune. So Neptune, or I prefer Poseidon, but we do use the Roman names, is the god of the sea, horses, and other stuff. It didn't start out as the god of the sea, actually. And what does that mean now? This isn't a religion, okay? We're looking at energies. We're looking at archetypes. We're looking at information, and we're looking at spirit. So the essence of this obsidian, right, is a very powerful, don't go anywhere without it, wear it all the time, day and night. Really hard to get used to sleeping in a necklace, but ever since I was possessed with energies in the jungle, I realized the importance of respecting the powers when you become a sensitive, when you grow your psychic and intuitive things. You must know how to handle them or you will become challenged. So this is a particular stone. What does it mean? It's a particular, oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize I was still going. Thank you. So what we have is, this is, obsidian is a divine stone that holds the powers of protection from the dark, being able to see through the dark, pulling dark, even bruises out of your body, out of your mind, out of your, the protective quality of it. And also is how to walk between the worlds, how to walk through an astral travel experience or something. I wouldn't go on an ayahuasca journey without one of these suckers. Okay, then the next thing that we have, oh, Neptune. So I was talking about Neptune. Neptune is the dreamy, the sea, the ocean, the emotions, okay? So realize that is conjuncting the moon. So you want to dream, weave your new reality. Let all these energies come in and inspire you in this new way. Now, one thing I really love about this is not a really something talked about a lot, is that this is also a new moon in Pisces. And hang on, I'm going to get to that in a second. I wanted to remind you that there is this chance to be liberated from these emotions. So it may be emotional and intuitive. However, if you go into your emotions and you accept them, now you become the master of them. And you can transform the toxic energies you carry in your emotions, the responses and the blame and all of that stuff. And you can open a new doorway to use that power for moving forward, for your new connections, for creating your reality. So you will have a lot of emotions perhaps, but they're going to be ones that are ready to be transformed and metamorphosized. They're ones that are ready to be liberated. And sadness, grief, blame, shame, any of these other things, There's also Aries. Aries is the sign that we're going into, this headstrong sign that we're moving into. It's the first sign and it thinks it's right. And it's that ram and it goes forward, and it's fire. Okay. And it could be anger and it could be power and it could be the fact that it wants to make something happen and not really feel. So you want to feel now, you want to dream now, you want to visualize now. So I'm going to share one more last really fun thing with you about the new moon. So the new moon is today, and it has to do with the goddess of healing. So if you've been around and you know that I went to Greece last year, I am going to Greece again in May. So please join me because it's going to be epic. If you like goddesses or dragons or ancient energies or the oracle or being an oracle or beauty and food and savoring and wonderful things, and it just come with us. So Hiia means in English like hygiene, right? And it relates to that idea of hygiene. And, that means hygiene is a Greek word, hygius or something, I think it is. And it means healthy, okay? And it means all more than just what we think of healthy. It means pure. What does that mean? Pure of spirit, pure of mind, not full of a bunch of toxins in the mind, in the body, in the gut, in the emotions. It means whole. Healing is wholeness. And it means wholesome. What's the difference between whole and wholesome? It's an interesting thing to play with. Wholesome, in my mind, I was programmed, was like, oh, a good little boy who does anything wrong and has freckles and gets a lollipop. But in reality, he's a little jerk behind, killing the dog behind the fence or something like that. So I'm not a big fan of the wholesome idea that I was given, but I want you to contemplate the idea of wholesome. All right. So don't think healing is fixing. It's not judging any part of you. It's not being mad at any part of you. It's not trying to fix any part of you. It's not trying to suppress any part of you. It is acknowledging, accepting, allowing every part of you to come up and calling on the angel of forgiveness and compassion to assist you to get into that state of acceptance. So what happens in Greece? They have these centers called Asclepions, and this is the god Asclepios. All right. His symbol is on in America and the US. His symbol is on all of the emergency vehicles. It's called the Star of Life. It is blue. It's a cross like that with a snake. The snake is revered by almost every single ancient culture because of its wisdom for transformation, for its ability to transform and shed its old self and be fully formed underneath, for the concept that it is a wise healer, which is what the Greeks believed. And it is also, of course, the caduceus, the two snakes that go up and the wings come out. And you see that on hospitals, although they're screwing around with that too. That is our Kundalini. That is the Kundalini, the Ida and Pingala, the masculine and feminine energy in your 8 original cells. We call it a Janisa crystal right there. And that's the sacred geometrical shape it has. We activate it at my retreats. And this is where your Kundalini lies. It's supposed to be balanced and be allowed to come up through each of your chakras, crossing, bringing perfect balance of masculine and feminine. Da, da, da. Okay. And then pouring into your third eye here. And then that builds with the awakening and your crown opens and the wings open. And that represents you, the feathered serpent, the plumed serpent, the ancient, I don't have him here, wise Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl, or other cultures as well, had the feathered serpent. What does that mean? The serpent is how you go through life. You've got to go up and down and you have to shed the old. And then you rise back to your plumes, the feathers, the crowns, everything anybody's ever worn on their head has been to amplify the identification that they are enlightened, that they are awakened, and that is the pineal, which opens up. That's a gland like a pine cone or like the 1,000-petaled lotus, and those become antennas or individual places for you to connect to light languages and realms and time and space and gods and goddesses and everything else. It's why I teach spirit, connecting to sacred spirit guides all the time, because it's super, super important. So what happens is that they used to have healing centers called Esquiplions, and we got to go to at least 3 of them. We got to go in a couple and activate them at the altar. A lot of these sacred sites are closed. You can't touch them and go near them or inside them. And he is amazing because he had all of these daughters and a wife. So when you realize that this was spiritual healing, go directly to the God, go directly to Gaia, go directly to the Kundalini in the earth, Delphine. That's all the things we're doing in Greece, okay? So you can see how important it is. We did it last year. We're doing it again. Now, what happens if you go in to heal now? There's the insurance, and then there's the appointments, and then there's availability, and then you have to have a test, and you have to have someone else say, yes, you can have saline for your nebulizer, and on and on and on. And then there's a copay, and then there's a pay, and then there's a fee, and then there's a this, and then there's a that. And then somebody else tells you what you can or can't have for your healing and what you should need and what it is. And they don't ask you what you think. And that's just one version of Western medicine. Now, I know there's plenty of beautiful people doing really beautiful work that is fantastic out there, and we're integrating. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been a natural healer for 38 years or more, and I've been through huge depressions because of the constant industry that wants to keep people sick and make money. And I don't even want to go down that road, but so become your own healer. In the ancient time, you went to the temple. Whether you were wealthy or not, you brought your payment. There's a thing inscribed on the wall. You must pay your healer or bad things will happen to you. So you must pay your healer. And that's where we're going, right? Into the future, where respected light workers and healers are sought out, sought after, well respected and well paid. Hallelujah. Anybody else here for that? Now, what happened was when you went there, is you paid and they prepared you. They were huge, beautiful places that had baths and theaters and gyms and tracks. And you went there, basically, we would call it a spa, and you were prepared. You were bathed and so on. And before you entered the temple to sleep at night, where you would directly receive your healing and your messages from Esquiplios and his daughters and his wife, mostly goddesses, it is you would read inscriptions on the wall of people who'd come there before and their healing. And we got to read a lot of these. It's phenomenal. They would tell you what they had, what happened to them in their night in the temple dreaming. And then when you wake up, you tell the healers, and then the healers interpret it and help you implement the program, your healing. Now, they had snakes all over the floor of the temple. They're not poisonous snakes. They considered them wise healers. The healers would watch you as you slept and watch the snakes. They would watch what the snakes did. Sometimes there would be written on there, somebody, I healed because of this, this, and this is what happened, and this is what they told me. And apparently, what I dreamed that, a Skipli or Hiia touched my toe. And then the healers told me, yes, we recorded while you were sleeping that this snake over here came up and licked your right toe. It's just phenomenal. So what does this have to do with right now? We have a bodily planet, an astral body, I guess, in the skies called Hiia, named for the goddess of healing. And she is his primary daughter, because when you go there, you see as many or more statues of her than him. And she always has the snakes around her and down and big ones and stuff. And this is someone that you see highly revered in the Parthenon. Like you go around and you see in site after site and super important buildings, this woman, this essence was recreated. His wife is the goddess of soothing. And then he had other daughters that were other aspects of the healing. So the reason this is relevant is that right now, today, the moon is conjunct Hiia, the goddess of healing. And this is the opening of this moon to the next moon when we will be in an eclipse. So all those other energies are coming together as it conjuncts Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries on the solar eclipse. Chiron was Esquiplion's teacher. That's another thing we talk about in the skies. It's an asteroid that represents the wounded healer. And I've talked a lot about this in other things, but this is you realizing you don't have to be your wounds, that you came here to heal your wounds and you have what you need within, and therefore you become the healer because you have the scars and you've been through it. So this means that you get to connect to Hiia, and she has the wholesomeness for you, the healing for you, the soundness, and she's always holding that serpent and a cup of water or a bowl, right? And I want you to, perhaps you might see her, perhaps you might connect to her, perhaps you might ask for your healing. Okay, so we're going to close on that. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helped you and you enjoyed. And I am going on retreat, and I'm hoping to provide you with more videos so you can ponder some other really important things that are going on right now that seem very relevant. And my intention was to record a bunch of videos, and instead I lost my voice and have had all kinds of other fun things. And I just accepted it because the present moment is the present moment. And when you accept it, you don't have to struggle. You still walk through it. You still might not like it. You still might not enjoy it. However, it's speaking to you as mine is speaking to me. And I'm so grateful for this sacred moment and for you. I'm sacred to the sacred temple that we are always in, aligned to our highest good and that which is optimal to each of us at this time. So we call that this circle be open yet unbroken. We thank Hiia and the new moon, Asclepius and Chiron. We thank Pisces and Pluto and Neptune and all of the divine energies that each of us have always been supported by. We give great thanks. We ask that our hearts be open and loving to receive all that we are here to nourish us so that we overflow, and that we may overflow that divine love and oneness in Lakech, Alakin. I am another you, you are another me, and we are one. We are here to become our individual selves while also being one with the whole, and this is the only path we have for raising our consciousness out of what we see in the world. Don't believe it, don't be a part of it, and don't recreate it. This is your powerful moment to break through and to break free. Namaste. Join me over at nanakasha.com so we can send you more information about what we have going on. Please go to the shop if you would like to check out any of the meditations, classes, working with me. Again, if you're interested in the mastermind, we may put something on the shop, but the key will be that you'll get a chance to speak with me, and we'll see if it's aligned, because it is a small group very intimately walking together, and the power available in that is very important. And it's also important that I curate the energies within it to make sure that we're all aligned. And also, please check out Coming to Greece with me. This is truly epic. I went last year within 6 weeks of being told to go. My life has never been the same. I don't regret 1 second of the stress or the money or anything that had to happen to get me there. And this is your opportunity to choose. That is in May. Okay. And of course, if you really want to still come to the Dolphin retreat, let us know. We are starting on Friday, I think, Friday or Saturday. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you subscribe here and you get notifications so that you know when I do this and I go live, because I may be doing a lot more of it. Namaste.